I'm Jason and welcome to Diecast Restos. This week I have this 1965 to 1970 Lesney 30C 8-wheel crane. It joined the Matchbox Superfast series in 1969, where it changed colour from its usual green with orange jib to red with a gold jib. Mine is no longer in its original green and orange, having been crudely overpainted by a former possessor. Underneath you can at least see the green shade I'll be aiming for. The 8-wheel crane is named in numerous references as a Faun crane. I haven't been able to identify an exact model it is based on, but Faun were a German mobile crane manufacturer. Faun were founded in 1918 following the merger of a Nuremberg-based foundry and an Ansbach-based vehicle factory. Fahrzeugfabriken Ansbach und Nürnberg was formed, Faun in short. This translates to Vehicle Factories of Ansbach and Nuremberg. During the 20s, Faun were producing street cleaning municipal vehicles, and briefly automobiles from 1924 to 1928. Heavy trucks began to be produced in the 30s. Faun's factories were mostly destroyed during World War II, but recommenced with truck production afterwards. By the 1950s, Faun started to specialise in all-terrain heavy-duty vehicles, including vehicles for the German military. Demand for their conventional trucks decreased in the 60s and they ceased production. In 1986, the company was sold to Orenstein and Koppel, who split the company and in turn sold off the special vehicles division to Japanese mobile crane manufacturer Tadano. Faun initially represented the manufacturing side of the business, but the names merged in 2012 to become Tadano Faun. Here you can see that the rear brace section has been bent on one side, so I hammer it flat. I use my wire brush attached to my rotary tool to polish up the three metal components of my restoration, starting with the body. Next I move on to the crane section, which is a bit fiddly with this wider gauge brush. And then onto the base, which will be restored to its original silver plated look, not painted. I use my narrower brush to polish and remove any paint flecks from inside the grille, likewise for the enclosed sections of the body. I've spread some AUTOSOL metal polish across the base section to bring back a natural sheen. I use my dirty roller to spread it around and lift off the layers of grime. Next I buff it out with a clean wheel. The cleaned and CITADEL coated wheels are now reattached to the base section and the axle ends are brightened with MOLOTOW chrome. Now on with the primer. The crane jib is first, being covered in Tamiya light grey fine surface primer. Then the chassis section is coated. What I like most about the casting itself is its bulky raw simplicity. As much as I can appreciate intricate detail, I do like a no-nonsense, no-frills casting too. TS12 orange goes on the jib, which always looks thick and wet on first application. TS35 Park Green is a wonderful match to the shades Lesney would have originally used on the pre-Superfast casting. The orange and green combination, teamed with a yellow hook, really made this an eye-catching toy. The rear wheels are reattached and the axle ends then chromed. And that brings me to reassembly. The lip of the crane jib rivet was only very slightly drilled out, so this should reattach quite nicely by clicking it in position. Here's my yellow reproduction hook. I'll leave links to the source in the description. Finally, all that needs adding is the base and grille section. It's hooks in by the headlights first and the grille follows. And the base is pushed secure on that shallow rivet. So here is how my 30C Faun 8-wheel crane looked a little earlier. It had that bent crane jib that needed levelling, missing its hook at the end. The whole thing had been badly repainted in a colour scheme that wasn't even that dissimilar to how a clean version appeared. Perhaps a previous owner was attempting a restoration of their own. The back end had a bent bumper too, and the wheels were a bit paint spattered and rough. But this is what it looks like now. It's miles fresher in the vibrant combination of TS12 orange and TS35 Park green. Alongside the bright paint sits the bright yellow repro hook, adding to this casting's toy-like appeal. The wheels have been revitalised in Citadel, having previously looked fairly worn out. I've straightened out that rear brace too, having previously been bent. My favourite part though is just how well the grille has come up. After a good polishing, it's now gleaming as the light hits it on the turntable. Anyway, that is it for today. As always, thanks to my channel supporters. Help support the channel by clicking the link at the end of the video. Also, take a look at my Instagram for all the latest from me. Don't forget to like, comment and hit the subscribe button, but that just leaves me to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.